Hey, what's up everyone? I'm here today to talk about high intensity interval training, otherwise known as HIIT training, and how you can start designing and implementing your own HIIT workouts. It's a pretty well-known fact now that high intensity interval training is a great alternative to traditional cardio and to traditional strength training. It involves doing an exercise at maximum intensity for a certain time interval and then having another time interval off to recover. When designing a HIIT workout for yourself or for someone else, there's three main things that you want to keep in mind when designing it. The first thing you want to keep in mind is understanding the work to rest ratio. And that's simply understanding the time intervals for doing the exercise and not doing the exercise. When playing around with this ratio, you need to keep in mind the intensity of the exercise that you're doing. If you're working with a relatively less intense exercise, then that work interval can be higher. And this lower intensity exercise can be performed for an interval of between 30 seconds to a minute. Along with having a lower intensity exercise for a longer work interval, you can also shorten up the rest interval as well. Again, when designing, we have to keep in mind the fatigue level of these exercises that we're doing. Some examples of lower intensity exercises are things such as the inverted push-up, the bodyweight squat, and the ab mat sit-up. These are just some examples, but again, it's going to vary with your own fitness level. Now, although generally low intensity exercises have longer work intervals and shorter rest intervals, you can vary that depending on your own fitness level. You have to find what works for you, but keep that in mind. If you're performing super high intensity exercises, then generally the intervals for those are shorter. Some examples of high intensity exercises include things like the burpee, lunge jump switches, and hollow rocks. With these and other high intensity exercises, you want to be working an interval of between 15 to 30 seconds of work and then close to equal rest. So when designing your own HIIT workout, play around with those intervals, play around with the rest to work ratio. The second thing you want to keep in mind is understanding the muscle groups that you're trying to target with your workout. Especially for beginner exercisers, it's important to alternate the muscle groups that you're working throughout the HIIT workout. A very common progression in HIIT workouts is doing an upper body exercise, followed by a lower body exercise, followed by a core exercise, and then repeating. This allows your major muscle groups to have needed recovery throughout your workout. Because remember, with high intensity exercise, we're trying to make each interval, each time that we're working, each interval on as hard as we can. We want to make sure it's quality work and that we're giving our muscles some time to recover in between exercises in order so that the next time that we perform that exercise or another specific muscle group exercise, the muscle is recovered and ready to hit it hard again. Then make sure you keep in mind that those muscle groups are going to be extra fatigued throughout each of your intervals. So keep that in mind when you're designing your work to rest ratio for your exercises. So when you're designing your own HIIT workout, keep in mind the muscle groups that you want to work that day. The last thing you want to keep in mind when designing your HIIT workout is understanding what type of recovery that you're looking for. There's two main different types of recovery. There's passive recovery and active recovery. Passive recovery is essentially what it sounds like. You finish the exercise and then you just do what you need to do to rest up. You can stand around, walk around, catch your breath. Nothing specific is done for this rest interval, just doing whatever you need to do to get ready for the next work interval. Active recovery involves doing a specific movement during your recovery interval. I think it's pretty obvious to understand that implementing active recovery makes the workout much more challenging than if you allow passive recovery. And this is something to think about as you progress your HIIT workouts and to spice them up and make them interesting. If you decide to implement active recovery, you want to keep in mind what your target goal is with the active recovery. If you're trying to keep people breathing, keep those heart rates sky high, then you want to implement something such as marching in place for your active recovery exercise. Doing this keeps you breathing hard, keeps that heart rate up, and significantly increases the challenge of the workout. Now, if you're looking to improve your balance, then there are balance exercises that you can do for your active recovery. Even something as simple as standing on one leg can provide a significant challenge to your muscles and your brain as you try to recover through these intervals. Doing a balance exercise such as this for your recovery interval, again, significantly increases the difficulty of the workout, but increases it in a different way. So you have to decide for your active recovery if you're looking to work on something such as balance. So when designing your HIIT workout, keep in mind if you want passive or active recovery. So those are the three major things you want to keep in mind when designing your own HIIT workout. You want to make sure you understand the work to rest ratio. What type of intensity of exercises are you looking to do? If you're a beginner, start out with lower intensity exercises with long work times that allow you to really understand and work the exercise. Or if you're more advanced and want to try higher intensity exercises, shorten the intervals up so that you can really work those super high intensity exercises to their maximum capability. Don't forget to keep in mind the muscle groups that you want to work for your workout. Are you looking to do a total body workout? Are you looking to just do some upper body work? Maybe just a core workout? It's all up to you. Keep that in mind when designing your own workout. And lastly, understand what you want to do for your recovery. If you're a beginner, stick with the passive recovery. Do what you need to do to get yourself ready for the next work interval. As you become more advanced, as you become more conditioned, start to implement active recovery. Keep in mind if you want to work on things like balance, which is more mentally challenging than doing another active recovery thing such as marching in place. HIIT training is a great way to get an awesome workout in. So when you're designing your own HIIT workout, keep those three things in mind. Thanks so much for watching and keep working hard. Thanks.